What's going on, Happy Crew? Happy Days here. In today's video, we're doing some pulls for Luffy. Apologies, I've been gone for probably about a week and a half now. I had a really bad sickness that just wouldn't go away, and then work was just absolutely crazy this week. So unfortunately, I hadn't had much chance to do any videos on anything. So I figured I'd come back with these pull videos and show you how my pulls went for Luffy. So spoiler alert, if you haven't already heard or seen, it doesn't go great. So we're going to go through both the summons I did on this banner, which is the part 1, as well as the Luffy banner. So my game plan going into this Sugofest was basically, you know, throw 10 multis into part 1. Usually they have a pretty good chance of getting a bunch of legends. You have that 10th step where each poster has a 50% chance of being a red poster. So I was going to this really fired up, really excited, hoping that we'd be able to just get a bunch of red posters. Now, this is my fault. I didn't check the full legend set that was in part 1. Usually for big celebrations like this, they'll kind of trim it down a little bit, so it won't be. But this is the first really good pull that I got there, was that Kizaru. So I was happy that I did pull this Kizaru on the, I think it was the second multi. So that wasn't too bad. That was a nice little surprise there, considering he was definitely not rate boosted. So for getting him for copies of his potential abilities, totally awesome. Love to see that. Oh, it's actually the first pull that I pulled, that Kizaru, so even better there. But unfortunately, the luck didn't really go great after that. So as you can see here, and as you see throughout the video, like, I was able to get a lot of the rare recruits. You can see I pulled, I believe this was the Bonnie on the second multi here, and just a lot of awesome reds. But the problem for part 1, at least for me, what I found is that because there's 230 plus legends that are potentially pulled, it's really easy to get really old and useless legends. And if you're an older player or a veteran player, yeah, it's great because these banners, hey, a New Year Sabo that's rate boosted on this part, but he's a fantastic unit. I don't have him max, so of course we'll definitely take that. But because of the total number of legends on this banner and the fact of my account being what it is, unfortunately most of the legends I already have fully maxed. So getting copies of, like, that Nami, for example, or copies of units like, for example, Chain and Buggy, just do me absolutely no good. Yeah, maybe sometime in the future they'll get an upgrade or a side grade, and I'll have them fully maxed out, ready to go. But yeah, you can see, like, this king was super old. So yeah, the fact that you get every legend on there is kind of the blessing and the curse. So if you have like a medium term account, I would say it probably makes sense to pull for these, so you get a lot of dupes. Get a chance to get some of the best units that you might not be able to get on any other banners, but for veteran players, there's just not a lot of value here. So had I done my research before, I definitely wouldn't have pulled on part 1. So as I mentioned, we are going up to 10 multis on part 1, seeing if we can get lucky and pull Loofers or Kuma. Would love to be able to get either of those if we could, and that way we wouldn't have to pull on any of the other parts. But as you'll see, fate just doesn't have that in store for me. So wrapping up that multi here with the Judge and his children unit. So again, another just super old unit. Really doesn't do me much good. Same thing I kind of here. I have every version of him maxed out, so just doesn't do too much for me there. So we're gonna keep chugging along. We did get a pretty good amount of animations and actually a pretty good amount of treasure chests. But never able to get that Gear 5 cut in that we're hoping to see on this part 1. So again, we're just going to keep kind of going through, hoping to get a bunch of red posters. At this point, we are missing the Sanji unit, so he's kind of the one that we're hoping to be able to pull. Sometimes rare recruits are harder to pull. Hey, my boy, Mr. Slam Jam. Sometimes rare recruits are harder to pull than the actual units themselves, so you do have to kind of watch out there. And wow, that is a old Sanji. Only good for really now one Grand Voyage battle. I think needs him fully level limit breaked. But yeah, otherwise than that, that Sanji does not see any use at all. Dog and Cat, again, nothing I can really use there. Just more old units. So again, we keep chugging along. Hopefully we can get something now. If I could get some more dupes of Kizaru, that'd be fantastic. More dupes of Sabo, that'd be fantastic. Basically any of the new units that have either super tandems or final taps, just so we don't have to waste any tablets there. We do have, I think I have 5 of each of the tablets, except for the new debuff, obviously, that just came out. So if there's a unit that comes out that is broken, we're ready to go, but it's always good just to get additional potential abilities leveled up that are kind of from those premium tablets that you do there. And just to note there, while I'm talking about that, I believe in the shop now, guys, this is what baited me. When this happened, I can't tell you how excited I was. I was jumping up and down, because at this point, HappiDaze didn't realize that every single legend was pullable. So, of course, I have pretty much every legend. I think I'm missing 6. So I was like, oh, yeah, like I must have got either Kuma or Luffy, right? Like, that happened. And then this came up, and I was so upset that I got Tashigi. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I was just not happy at all that I got Tashigi. Totally got baited there. Was not a new... sorry, it was a new unit actually for me, but it was not one of the new units for this banner. So got completely played there, and after that it was just kind of heartbroken. So at that point I said, you know what, we're just going to go up to 10 multis. We're not going much farther. We don't have to really worry too much about it, and that's going to just kind of be how it is. So again, we get another red poster here. So this actually wasn't a bad pull right there. I don't have cross-skilled max, so was also able to use the dupes there, helping to get out. You don't really see too much play, too much more on the quick team, but now with the new boa, they're kind of making a little bit of a resurgence, though not really, but any dupes are definitely awesome through there. Use them on the super bosses, but not too frequently, but the unit itself is pretty good. So coming with the 11th poster, just a Ivan, just a rare recruit there, so rare recruit Ivan. So yeah, we keep trucking along. We're on number 8 now. Last poster is a Sugo rare poster. So let's go ahead and keep going. Again, great animations, but just nothing that we're looking for. A lot of teasins getting up to the 3rd cut-in, but nothing to kind of get us to that last cut-in there. So there we go. Here's where we pulled Sanji. So that's the other rare recruit of the batch. So at this point, we have both rare recruits, but we're missing Luffy and Kuma. So what we're really hoping to do is that if we could pull either of them in that last multi, then we'd be in pretty good shape. Yeah, we had to waste 500 gems, but 500 gems to have one of the main units and both the support rare recruits is fantastic, especially for the point boosting Super TM that's coming up. Fortunately, that did not happen. We got really old Zoro here. He was fully maxed for me, though, for a lot of people who are newer to the game, who don't have him. Like, this unit at the time was just a fantastic unit for PvP, and you still see him today. If you have free spirit teams, usually he's always out there. If you have him 150, able to do the counters, like, he's pretty insane. So I think this was the 10th pull right here. So you can see, we only end up getting, I believe, 3 out of the 10 to be red posters, so that's kind of a little bit of a shame there. This was the last copy I needed of those sword members to fully get them to 150, so that was actually exciting. I love using them in PvP. I hate ulti. I hate any unit that has ulti on there. I pull her so much. So yeah, that was just a super disappointing end to it. And then the last poster is just Sentimaru there. So yeah, sorry, that was the 9th pull actually. So sorry, this is the 10th pull. So let's see if our luck is any better on this pull. Unfortunately, did not see red hockey on this pull either. No treasure chest on the ground. Do get to the 3rd cut-in, so they figure you gotta at least get one thing that's great, right? So there we go. 2 reds, 3 reds, 4 reds. So that was kind of insane. The almost 5 back-to-back reds was definitely awesome. Definitely take that when it happens. But again, if the legends aren't great and you already have them fully leveled limit break, have a second copy there like I do for most of these, then they don't really do much for you. So again, Usopp, Yasop, Law, just really old units. We can use the Sulongs right there. That's good. We actually don't have them maxed, so we actually have some value there. Sangoru just is super old, already level limit break them. Again, Frankie, we have him maxed out. So unfortunately, we really only could use the Sulongs from this multi. So that being said, that was the first 10 multis on part 1. As you can see, the rates just weren't good, so I said, you know what, I'm stopping here. I'm going to do the rest on part 2 when it comes out later in the day. So, without further ado, let's get into those matches and see how those pulls went and see if we had any better luck than we did on this one. Alright, so we're super excited. News time ended, or just passed. We were able to start doing some pulls on this banner. Multi number 1 looked like a good start, right? You saw a bunch of animations, and then they were all like, not happening. We did end up getting one red poster there, so a little bit disappointing with the 15% legend rate. But yeah, sometimes you just go what it is. I've only pulled the Green Bull 1 or 2 times, and that was the rare recruit Sanji, so we got a dupe of him. So we'll definitely take that Green Bull copy. Definitely use him for level 1 break. You don't really see him much in content at all, so it's more just to get him fully maxed, but we really don't see too much play with him. We got Hack. We got Hack as the one of the new rare recruits in part 1, and we pulled him like 8 times, I think, by the end of this video. So it's kind of crazy. And again, we just kept getting baited over and over with these multis, with getting up to that 3rd cut-in, and then it just stops. So it's really disappointing, really heartbreaking. Of course, like I said, feeling confident, right? New set of multis. At this point, I had just watched Toadski do his pulls, and we got another Green Bull, because why not? So seeing him being able to get them, I think it was in 3 or 4 multis that Toadski was able to get his Luffy. So I'm like, oh yeah, and a bunch of Alliance members also got him pretty quickly. So I was feeling like really good. I'm like, you know what, I'll get him in 10 worst case. So yeah, and as you'll see, that really didn't happen, but pulled the Luffy and Lucci there, the Kaku and Lucci there. Good unit. Doesn't see too much play, but he's not maxed, so we'll take that. Also, the Giants aren't maxed for me either. Again, they have some niche usages in PvP on the Slasher team, but you don't really see him too much outside of that. So yeah, great, we'll get them to 150. It'll get us a little bit closer to just doing some more damage if we go with the Slasher team, but I think at this point, the Slasher meta isn't nearly as strong or powerful as it was. Again, another rare recruit Sanji there, and then with the 11th poster we end it with, we end up pulling a Katakuri and Oven there. So I can't remember if this unit was maxed. I think I pulled them a couple times, so they might be pretty close to max, but again, it's another unit that doesn't see too much play. And then you go right into a dead multi. Well, it looks like a dead multi, but you get treasure chests, right? So I guess you really can't complain there. If I haven't pulled the rare recruits in part 1, we're probably pretty excited to see a treasure chest on a otherwise dead multi. So I'm just skipping through this one really quick, just because, quite frankly, we know it's a dead multi, right? Didn't see anything kind of really too great there, but we do get the Sanji rare recruit on the 11th poster. So again, like, he doesn't have any potential abilities that are like crazy worth maxing out. So yeah, it's great. We got some copies. We'll probably be able to get him to level 150 like right off the bat. But these units aren't going to really see too much play post this event that's going on. So kind of is what it is. Might be, I was almost say back-to-back dead multis, but we did get one red there, which is good. So let's just keep going through here. Just a bunch of really old rare recruits. Coming up on the first red now, and it is the Giants again. So again, we'll take that just so we can get them to level 150, and we kind of truck on there. 11th poster is a red poster, and this was actually a pretty fire pull. I don't have this Luffy Kaido maxed. I think he's at 130 for me. So getting 2 copies of him was the one consolation prize I was hoping for. If I didn't able to get Luffy really quickly, I could at least get maybe a couple copies of him and get him a little bit closer to being fully level limit break, because he's insane, both as a GP leader and what they can do in Pirate Rumble. So we're really hoping to get them to 150 pretty soon. So going into this multi here, again, really not too much happening. Secret Red on 6, I believe. Old Magellan, yeah, completely worthless legend there. Not going to really do us much good. This actually is a good pull. The Law of Blackbeard, for some reason, I pulled him pretty quickly when he came out on release, but then I have had almost no luck pulling any copies post. So on the int teams, for example, or the powerhouse teams where you saw the Law and Blackbeard really shine, unfortunately we can never get their full potential just because they didn't get 150. Now they're still a great unit. They can still do a bunch of cooldown reduction if you're facing, different squads and have, I believe you have to have 6 powerhouse units on your squad to get the CT reduction for the enemy side. But yeah, if you team team up with a full int team that has powerhouse, like they're pretty crazy. So we got another Bonnie there, another dupe rare recruit for us to kind of feed and get closer to 150. So love to see that. So I'm not gonna lie, at this point I was starting to lose hope that we were gonna pull him pretty soon. Obviously we have some limited steps coming up, but that doesn't mean anything when the limited pool is pretty big. So again, we're gonna kind of go through, see hopefully what we can get. Fantastic unit, probably one of the best in the game. I would say probably top 10. But we have our Zoro Sanji completely maxed out. So unfortunately, we'll just sit in our box so we can start getting a second copy rainbowed. But yeah, that unit won't be able to do much for us. 11th poster is a Christmas Uta. So I think at this point my Uta is fully maxed. I think last time we did some polls, we ended up maxing her out. So doesn't really help us too much there, unfortunately. On this poll, we did get some treasure chests. Again, we didn't get a cut in past the third cut in, so it kind of is what it is. A couple red posters, so that's good. You like to see at least 1 or 2 per multi with a 15% rate. So go ahead and take a look at the first red poster, and it's another old Magellan. Not going to really do too much for us there, so that's kind of a disappointment. But hey, it is what it is, followed by a Memory Zoro there. So I don't think I have that Memory Zoro fully maxed out, so we'll use him for dupes, and then of course we get another of the rare recruit units there. Usually rare recruits are sometimes harder to pull than legends, but for us, at least for the Sugofest, our luck has been insane for pulling the rare recruits. Unfortunately, we're just not able to pull the man himself, Louvers, but it is kind of what it is. A bunch of red posters here, so you definitely like to see that. Hopefully we get something a little bit better than Magellans coming out of here. So let's go ahead and see the first red, and it is going to be another Magellan. At this point, I like had it of Magellans. I was like, if this game gives me another Magellan, I'm gonna flip out. That was actually a pretty good pull. I've only pulled Robin 2 times since her debut, and you can't get her outside of these banners where you have literally every legend. So the fact that we not only pulled a Demon Robin as well as another copy of Kizaru, this was actually a pretty big win for that multi-pull there. Of course, it would have been better if we had something outside of Magellan, but still getting Kizaru and Demon Robin, two fantastic pulls there. So definitely we'll take more multis like that when we can get them. And back to another 2 red poster multi, it looks like. So let's see what the first legend is on here. Another Oven Katakuri. So again, we'll just kind of feed him into the dupes, but you doesn't see too much play. Hey, Rocks Pirates. That's a fantastic pull. That's really good. Obviously, with them being relatively new, we don't have them maxed out, have the potential abilities. And then we get another Green Bull. So Green Bull's getting pretty close now to probably having his potential abilities fully maxed out. Maybe another copy or 2, and I will be there, so that's always good to see. But yeah, if we can pull more Rocks Pirates, that would be fantastic. And this looks like just a completely dead multi. Not really expecting much here. Only 1 cut in. Will we even get a single red? Maybe not. All right, let's quickly go through these. Oh, we did get another rare recruit, Bonnie. So yeah, these rare recruits are just insane with how frequently they were coming out for me during all these pulls. That being said, 11th potion is Koala, but again, not something that we can really use. Going on to poll number 13. So at this point, abandon hope, all ye who enter. I was just not feeling good. I was actually at this point probably thinking I am going to legitimately have to go to 30 multis to get this new unit. And in this case, it's a unit that you're definitely going to want. Just the fact of what he can do in PvP, and some of his abilities just from his captain ability and special, like we'll definitely see play going forward. He's not like, I don't think he's a top 5 unit, and I'd probably even argue I don't know if he's really top 10. But he's going to have relevance for probably at least 3 to 6 months. So that's why you want to pull these guys when you can. That Sanji unit is awesome there. He'll go well paired with that quick Zoro that you saw earlier. So again, just get those guys up to 150. They are key staples of the Free Spirit team in terms of getting your units to go off really quick. Sanji offers a cooldown reduction, whereas Zoro offers the counter, but both critical units on that Free Spirit team, so we'll always take more dupes of Sanji. My Zoro is maxed out, so that doesn't help me, but Sanji is, I think he's 130 now, so young Whitebeard. I've pulled this guy probably like, no word of a lie, probably like 15 or 20 times. Outside of the strength ulti, he's probably the unit I've pulled the most in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So always disappointing when I see him. Just horrible animations all along. Not even a cut in. That hurts. Though we got 2 red posters there, so you know sometimes animations aren't everything. And I've actually had multis where I've had pretty much no animations and actually were able to pull the new unit in kind of one of the 10 posters up front. So it doesn't mean you're not gonna get a new unit if you don't see red hockey, but yeah, it's pretty low odds if you don't. So is what it is. Not really too much going on. Again, the Udo that we have now is fully maxed, and the Black Mario is fully maxed for me as well. Again, got some stars, but not really much else going. Another teasing gear 3, or sorry, third animation there, but nothing to help us get through. Again, I don't think we got any red posters on here, unless there's a secret red. Okay, there's a secret red on 3. And the Giants again, so we are just pulling tons of copies of the Giants. So at this point, they're fully maxed out potential ability-wise. I'm guessing I probably have maybe like 2 copies left to go to get them up to 150, and this here is a fantastic pull. The fact that I was able to get basically 2 or 3 copies of Kizaru from this part of the banner is a huge win. Like, he's just a fantastic unit with what he can do, the damage he can do in PvP, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So the fact that Bandai has made him kind of so broken to counter the Luffy just is fantastic, and that's why you're seeing him have so much resurgence with these Lokia and Rogue Government tags for the last 3 or 4 PvP ones that we've had. So outside of that, on this multi, really not too much going on. I pulled this Ivankov like probably like 30 times. It seems like the boosted rate on that character must be pretty ridiculous. Another bad multi, but we did get treasure chest in the first cut-in. But again, that doesn't really always mean anything. So we do get 1 red at least on the 10th poster. But outside of that, yeah, none of these rare recruits are gonna see any play at all, and they're all for me. So if I must say, like, the Nami Karina there is a fantastic pull. In my opinion, probably I don't want to say the best unit in the game, but the utility that they have is pretty much unmatched. So if you don't have that character and you're able to get a copy of them, then they're just absolutely crazy. Not only in what they can do for regular content, but they're also able to just do so much in PvP with the special rewind and things like that. That they're just such an awesome unit. So even though ours isn't at 150 yet, they have all the punch abilities fully maxed. But yeah, they're just a great unit there. We pulled another Uta again. We'll just go into the deep library, and look at that, we're getting another Nami Karina. So with that, I believe we get them to, I think the 1 copy in level 4. So I think I need 2 more copies of the Nami Karina to fully max them out. But yeah, fantastic unit. We'll definitely take any of those dupes any day without complaining. Last couple animations just haven't been good. As you can see, I was just at this point not having really much luck. Couple reds there, but at this point, because there wasn't really any good animations, wasn't really feeling too good about the choice of what these red posters might be. Whitebeard Ace is actually really good. He's seen a pretty good resurgence with the Logia tag that's been going on the last couple PvP grand parties and things like that as well. He kind of benefits the same as Kizaru does, so whenever you see those rule sets, Morley and Karatsu are the ones that I got for the special limited pull here, which is super depressing there. Useless unit. I do have Dragon and can build that full team, but that team just requires so much of the Revolutionary characters to use, and there's just not that many copies. That's really tough to really use Morley Karatsu in a bunch of content, and even build them with the Dragon captain to kind of get the most out of his effects and being able to ignore the defense. We did get a strength Kaido there, so we'll definitely take that. Yeah, all right. So here we're losing faith. Yeah, we've been at this for quite some time. At this point, I pretty much was like, okay, we're gonna have to go to 30. Like, the game is just not giving to us, and we get multis like this, right? And you saw the last couple multis weren't really that great. So at this point, I am just dreading that at this point I spent 500 for part 1, and at this point I'm probably somewhere around 800 gems or 900 gems, actually probably more than that, probably more like 1100 gems on this part, trying to pull them, so feeling super disheartened. It's RNG, right? It's gacha, it's gambling at the end of the day, so just because I didn't pull them in the second multi like Todd or some others did, that's just how gachas work, right? So is what it is. And sometimes you have good luck, sometimes you have bad luck. So that's just kind of our luck today has obviously been very bad. We did get another Demon Nico Robin on this pull, which isn't bad at all. We'll definitely take that. Here we go, and we got the red hockey. So at this point, I'm not gonna lie, like I wasn't really that excited. The fact that I pulled him, yeah, you see the animation, right? Which is like, oh, that's awesome, I got the animation. But the fact that you had to go 24 multis to get him, definitely, and that little animation, that was pretty awesome that you get sometimes along with that. So yeah, I was just a little bit disappointed that it took that many gems to get up there. Another Happy Sanji, like I said, we use him for Level and Break, another Bonnie rare recruit. And then there's the man, the myth, the legend himself, the new Luffy. So excited that we have him. He's going to be a good unit. I think he'll be a menace in Pirate Rumble, especially. So watch out, especially if you see like him and Bo on a team, for example, or you have a bunch of powerhouse units. It's going to be pretty insane. And that animation is fire. Like, Bandai really did good on that animation. But that being said, that's gonna obviously wrap up our polls for this Luffy part. Obviously, we still have 2 more parts of the Super Sugo. By the time the next part comes around, I should have somewhere, I'm guessing, 1100, 1200 gems, something like that. So worst case, if the character is really good for the next part, we should hopefully be able to pull at least one of them. So they're introducing 2 new characters in that part as well. So again, we'll see what the units are, what they do, and then kind of go from there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining in my pain. Let me know in the comments below how your polls went. Were you able to hopefully get him much sooner than I did? I would love to hear from you guys and how the community went for their Sugofest polls. Also, let me know who you think will be in the next parts. I'm curious to see who they're going to go with. Like I said, hopefully the other parts are just as good as this part. I know sometimes that the parts don't exactly follow the same level of hype as usually the first character gets released, so maybe incrementally part 2 might have a legend who's good, but maybe might not be as cracked as Luffy, and then part 3 might just be like an okay legend. So we'll have to see how that goes and what ends up being the units that get released from there. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you had better luck than I did. If you did pull, good luck on the upcoming TM, and also good luck on the next part pulls. I'll have a video out with Luffy probably in the next couple days as I get the chance to use him and see what he can do. So definitely look out for that. And as always, until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.